Okay, you may not know this about me, but I really, really love paranormal, like paranormal anything. Ghosts and conspiracies and like cryptids like Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot and all that stuff. Love it all. So I've been wondering if there's a way that I can kind of combine all those things together. Combine my love for all those weird things and art and somehow mash them up and put them on my channel in some way. What I would like to start, and today kicks off episode 1, I'm very excited about it, is a new series where I cover my interpretation on popular cryptids. So like Bigfoot and Chupacabra and Skinwalkers and all of those. And I'll do my interpretation while also giving you guys a little bit of a backstory on each of those creatures, the legends behind them, and then even some real life encounters if I'm able to find any real documented cases on people interacting with these mythical, if you want to call them, creatures. So I want to kick that off today with the first episode of the series with one of my favorite cryptids or favorite legendary creatures, whatever you want to call them, the Wendigo. And if you don't know anything about the Wendigo, you're going to like this, I think. And even if you do, even if you heard a little bit about them or you're a little bit familiar, never hurts to go back and revisit, right? If you would like to learn a little bit about the Wendigo and watch me struggle with drawing my interpretation of one, and also hear kind of a pretty grisly story about a supposed real-life encounter with a real Wendigo, then keep on watching. A little bit of background. The legend of the Wendigo is attributed to Native American tribes of the Great Lakes area of the US and Canada. It's a supernatural creature that's most famous for its insatiable hunger for human flesh, and its hunger is never satisfied no matter how many people it's consumed. It's said to wander the forests incessantly searching for its next human meal. Though many native tribes throughout North America believe in the Wendigo, descriptions of the creature vary from tribe to tribe. Some say it's an evil spirit that can possess a person's body. Some say it's a giant beast made of ice. Others refer to it as a gaunt humanoid figure that looks like a corpse that's just been dug up from the ground. Most accounts of the Wendigo typically say that it looks emaciated and deathly. In some versions of the legend, it's covered in matted fur, while in others it's described as having pale gray skin that tightly hugs its bones and looks as though it's starving, even though it constantly eats. It's sometimes portrayed as having the head of a deer with large antlers, but this seems to be a more modern interpretation. No matter what they look like physically, Wendigos are always described as smelling like death and decay. The Wendigo is also said to be a great hunter with perfect knowledge of its territory, and in spite of its emaciated appearance, it possesses strength and speed that's far beyond the average human. These creatures can also inflict humans with Wendigo fever, causing a burning sensation all over the body and plaguing the victim with nightmares. So, where do they come from? Whether it's believed to be a spirit that possesses or a giant beast, one thing that's consistent across most Native American accounts is that Wendigos were once human. It's said that during times of famine and scarcity, a Wendigo is born when a human has to resort to cannibalism to survive. A Wendigo can also be created when a person gives in to excessive greed and other vices. So you may be wondering if there's any proof that Wendigos actually exist. And here's where things get a little bit dark and gruesome. The most famous documented case of a person claiming to be possessed by a Wendigo was a member of the Cree tribe of Canada by the name of Swift Runner. During a particularly brutal winter in 1878, Swift Runner led his wife, 5 children, mother, and brother into the Canadian forest and set up camp. There at the campsite, Swift Runner killed and ate each member of his family over the course of the winter months. The most bizarre part of this story is that he and his family were only 25 miles away from a supply post where the entire family would have access to all the food they would need to survive until spring. When he was confronted by the local police regarding the deaths of his family members, Swift Runner confessed to the killings, stating that he was being plagued by a Wendigo that afflicted him with a hunger for human flesh and forced him to murder his family. Swift Runner accepted his fate from the police and was executed on December 20th, 1879. In modern times, this legendary creature has lent its name to a psychological disorder known as Wendigo psychosis. Patients suffering from this psychosis begin to have recurring nightmares, and lose their appetite. Later, they start having insatiable cravings for human flesh and are stricken with a fear of becoming a Wendigo. To date, no known explanation for this disorder has been found. In the end, the legend of the Wendigo may just be a cautionary tale disguised as a hungry monster, a tale that warns against the dangers of excessive greed, gluttony, and social taboos. But then again, there could be some truth to those old stories. So the next time you have a hunger that you just can't satisfy, watch your back, because you might be getting a visit from your friendly neighborhood Wendigo. Well, there you go. That is my take on the Wendigo. I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a like if you did, so that way I know and I can extend this series out. I would really love to do that because this was a lot of fun, just this first episode. I love doing my own design for the Wendigo, kind of like my own spin on it. And I also had a lot of fun doing all of the research behind it too. There's so much out there, and I would love to repeat that with all of the other creepy crawlies and beasties that are out there and really extend this series out for quite a while if you guys want to see that. But that rests with you to let me know. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.